How good it is to be together. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm Rabbi Cohen, and I'm joined by Cantor Sarah Freudenberger, and we'd like to welcome everyone to Congregation B'nai Israel, the family and friends of Dylan Berman, who are here to celebrate with us this morning. We especially welcome Dylan's parents, Jessica and Ross, his sisters, Sloan and Scarlett, and his grandparents, Beth and Jeffrey, and Susan, who is joining virtually. We also want to welcome all of you who are celebrating with us on live stream. You are very much a part of Dylan's special day, and we are hoping that the day comes soon when we can join back together in person to celebrate. Feel free to type in some well wishes for Dylan and his family to view later on. This morning, we join to be the welcoming community as one young man takes his place in the great chain of Jewish tradition. Dylan has been working very hard, not for a performance today, but to lead us in prayer and to share with us the sacred texts of our tradition. He'll be helping to lead us from our prayer book, Mishkan Tefillah, which is right by the sanctuary entrance if you need to get one. And a digital version has also been shared online as well. We really want to be here this morning for Dylan, not have our minds anywhere else. So I'd like to ask everyone that if you have anything that rings, chirps, whistles, burps, to please put it on silent at this time so we can really be here. And also a gentle reminder just to keep your masks on your nose and mouth while you're on campus so we can really make sure we create a safe environment for all. Another important element that helps us create community and connect us to prayer is music. And this morning, Cantor Sarah will uplift us in prayer and celebration through song. So I hope all of you will join in as much as possible or even clap along as we create community. And now, as part of the celebration of becoming a bar mitzvah, Dylan has chosen to wear a talit, the traditional prayer shawl, that will be presented to him by his parents at this time.
On this Shabbat, we rejoice in your coming of age in our tradition. As a symbol of our entrance as a responsible member into the adult Jewish community, it is our honor to present you with this talit.
Our tradition teaches us to put tzitzit, fringes on the corners of our garments, in every generation as a reminder to observe all of God's commandments. Now, as a bar mitzvah, a child of the commandments, you are ready to make moral choices, to grow emotionally and intellectually, and to take responsibility for the mitzvah and your decisions. Be holy unto God, bring blessing blessings to our world, and may you bring to the household of Israel the same pride and joy, not less, that you bring to us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzilanu v'hitatef b'tzitzit. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who makes us holy through the mitzvah and commands us to wrap ourselves in this fringed garment.
Together we join in this holy moment with the Shehechianu. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, for giving us life, sustaining us, and enabling us to reach this special moment.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'hegianu lazman hazeh.
We continue welcoming one another into this sacred space with Matovu on page 74. And if you need a prayer book, they're right at the entrance when you walk in. Page 74.
Matovu alecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu alecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Vani berov hasecha,
We join together with the Chatzi Kaddish, page 106.
Yitkadal, yitkadal, shemei Rabba. Ve'almad yivrach yirutei, ve'yamlich malchutei, ve'chayechon u'vyom echon, u'chayetecho beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, u'bizman kariv, v'meru, amen. Yehishmei Rabba mevorach, le'olam le'olamaya, yitzbarach, yitzbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitzpa'ar v'yitromam v'yinaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei t'kudesha b'richu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, v'meru, amen.
We rise as one community for our Baruchu, our call to prayer.
Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la la la. Yai la la la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la la la. Yai la la la.
may be seated. Dylan will continue leading us in English on page 110. And before you do, just move the microphone closer to you so we can hear you.
Praised are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the light and darkness, who makes peace and fashions all things. In mercy you illumine the world and those who live upon it. In your goodness your daily are new creation, how numerous are your works, Adonai. In wisdom you form them, all filling the earth with your creations. Be praised, Adonai our God, for the excellent work of your hands, and for the light you created. May they glorify you. Shine a light upon Zion, that we all may swiftly merit its radiance. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights.
Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMe'orot. And we continue on page 112 as Dylan leads us with How Deeply.
How deeply you have loved us, Adonai, our God, creating us with surpassing compassion, on account of our forebears whose trust led you to teach them the laws of life. Be gracious to us, teaching us as well. O Mitzvah one, have mercy on us by making us able to understand and discern, to heed, learn, and teach, and lovingly to observe, perform, and fulfill all that is in your Torah.
Baruch atah Adonai habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. Praised are you, Adonai, who chooses your people Israel in love. We continue with the Shema on page 114 as Dylan leads us in this beautiful prayer that connects us to God.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kavod Malchuto, Leolam Vayed.
And we continue with the Ve'ahavta, page 116.
Veshinantam levanecha, v'nivartam
we come to our prayer Michamocha, our prayer of redemption, it recalls the moment that the Israelites crossed the Sea of Reeds and made it to the Promised Land. And it was this moment of transition of our Jewish people. And right now, we too are seeing a moment of transition right here in our sanctuary as Dylan becomes a bar mitzvah. And this is surely reason to also give thanks to God and to rejoice. So we join with one another with Micha Mocha, page 122. Page 124, we join with Dylan as he leads us in the Amidah. Please rise.
Adonai sefer tasita uviyagid tehilateha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Page 126.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, ve'Elohei Avteinu ve'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahab, Elohei Leah, El Hagidol, Hagibor B'Hanorah, El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Behonei Hakol, Mizoher Estei Avot ve'imahu, Umabi Gulav Livnehem, Lama Shemo Ba'ava, Mele Ozer Umashai Umagi, Baru Atah Adonai Magin Avraham, B'Yezrat Sarah.
Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav le'Hoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofeh olim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar. Michamocha bal gevurot, umido melech, melech memit umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol.
Page 130.
Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, kashem shemakdishimo tobi shmei barom, kakatuv al yad neviyecha, v'karav ze el ze ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tsevaot, Meloch haaretz, Kevodo, Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, לדור ודור,
לדור ודור,
לדור ודור,
לדור ודור נגיד גודלך. לדור ודור,
לדור ודור,
לדור ודור,
לדור ודור,
לדור ודור נגיד גודלך. ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, קדושתך נקדיש. ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We take some time for silent prayer, either using the pages until 142 or the prayers of your heart, and when you're finished, you may be seated. Long ago, our people stood at a mountain, and there we encountered God and entered into a covenant, a binding relationship with mutual love and obligation that would last throughout the ages. The symbol of that mountain meeting is found in our Torah, the sacred scroll which we read today, which gives us our Jewish values. Passed down l'dor v'dor from generation to generation, from parents to children and their children after them. It has been our guide for how we can live in this world as God's partners,
hopefully making it more of the world God dreams it to be. This morning, Dylan will receive Torah and symbolically begin his role as a teacher of Torah and a teacher of how we can be better people from understanding our Jewish lessons and values. In a few moments, Dylan will chant the Torah blessings, a moment that symbolizes his taking a stand to lead our community, our Jewish people, as we respond confirming this moment. He will then chant the Hebrew Torah portion from the scroll, something that has taken much time to learn how to do and for which Dylan has worked extremely hard. In so doing, he will celebrate not having a bar mitzvah, but becoming a bar mitzvah, a member of our covenant community, now becoming a member of the commanded community, accepting all of the privileges and the responsibilities of our Jewish people. So at this time, please rise as we begin our Torah service on page 244. Dylan, today this Torah is symbolically passed down to you from your family tree, and we express how its values connect to one another, connect us to one another, and to God with the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai Iti, Uneromama Shemo Yachdav. You may be seated. Dylan is now going to share with us his words of Torah, his Devar Torah, and teach us about this week's Torah portion. Go ahead and move the mics closer, both mics. All the way down, bring it over. Good, there we go.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you everyone that is joining me on this special day, the day I become a bar mitzvah. My Torah portion is called Parsha Shemot. Parsha Shemot begins with Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, giving orders to the enslaved Israelites. First, he orders the midwives to kill all of the Jewish babies, but two midwives, Shifra and Puah, in respect to God, disobeyed Pharaoh's command. Second, the Pharaoh's next command was that all Israelite male babies should be thrown into the Nile River. Yet, one Israelite couple hid their male baby for 3 months before they finally put him in a basket and float him down the Nile River. This This baby was spotted by Pharaoh's daughter while she was bathing. She named him Moses and raised him as her own. When Moses was a grown man, he saw an Egyptian beating upon a Jew. It bothered him to see his people being mistreated. So Moses killed the Egyptian and fled Egypt because he feared that Pharaoh would kill him for this. Years later, when Moses was a shepherd tending sheep, he saw a burning bush that was not consumed by the fire. As he approached this marvelous sight, God spoke to him from out of the bush. God told Moses to go back to Egypt and free the Israelites from the Pharaoh. At first, Moses was reluctant to take on this challenge. He was scared because he didn't think he was the right man for this job. Although Moses didn't have confidence in himself and his own capabilities, God believed in Moses. In my life, there have been times when I too felt that I couldn't do things, like get my schoolwork done. In school, the subject English has always been challenging for me. There were times I didn't want to study for a test, didn't want to complete a project, and didn't have enough energy to write my paper. Unfortunately, I didn't hear God encourage me not to give up, but I did have my parents and my teachers who believed in me. I learned that when I am asked to do something like Moses, I am capable of doing it. Like Moses, I learned to have faith in myself and know that with support and help from others around me, I can be my best self. Another message that stands out to me in Parsha Shemot is the courage that it took for the midwives to disobey the Pharaoh's orders. They refused to kill all of the Jewish male babies because they feared God and knew the act of murder was immoral. The episode makes us stop and think, when is it okay to disobey a rule or a law? Throughout history, there have been many examples of civil disobedience. The colonists dumped tons of tea into the Boston Harbor because of the unfair rules made by King George. Rosa Parks refused to give her seat up on a bus, and Muhammad Ali refused to fight in the Vietnam War. In all of these examples, including the midwives of Egypt, their convictions to their beliefs, and in the case of the midwives, their loyalty to their God was so strong that they felt disobeying was the right thing to do. When you stand by your convictions and principles that you believe in, you are doing it for the greater good, and it is a selfless act. But most of the time, I follow the rules, whenever at school or in sports or when I'm with my friends. But if a rule seems unjust, then I wouldn't want to follow it. 2 years ago, there was a school shooting in Florida. The student body at my school walked out of the class in silent protest for better gun control laws. Even though they were supposed to be in school and they were breaking the rules, by leaving school, they did so anyway. Stand up for what they believed in. This is how civil disobedience can be used to make changes for the better. That day is one of those days that I will remember forever. Becoming a bar mitzvah means so much to me. I knew I would have to work hard to learn my Torah portion in my Haftorah. For me, my bar mitzvah is a continuation of a Jewish ritual and a family celebration. My father and my grandfather participated in the same rite of passage. Now that I'm a bar mitzvah, I will have more responsibilities. These include fasting in Yom Kippur and being held accountable for my actions. My bar mitzvah marks the beginning of a lifetime of participation in the Jewish community. There are many people that I need to thank for helping me prepare for this day. Thank you for my parents for giving me so many opportunities and supporting me as they study for my bar mitzvah. Next, I would like to thank my grandparents for passing their Jewish identity to my parents and on to me. Also, thank you for both of my sisters for sharing in my special day. Thank you, Rabbi and Cantor, for making this happen despite the pandemic. To all my friends who took the time out of their busy day to be here, I thank you all very much. I wish you all Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for sharing those meaningful words with us, Dylan. And I was thinking that when you said you didn't think that God spoke to you like he spoke to Moses out of the burning bush, I wonder if God actually spoke to you through your parents and through all of those people in your lives that motivated you to continue on. That's something I always think about. Maybe God speaks to us in other ways. A little different from Moses through the bush, but something that I think about. So as we continue hearing these beautiful words of Torah, go ahead and get your Torah scroll ready, take off the cover. And we're going to continue with our Torah chanting of Shemot. Go ahead and open up your scroll, get your microphone set for yourself. Something really special is that Dylan actually made his yod, his Torah pointer that he is going to get to use for his own bar mitzvah chanting this morning. We'll begin by inviting up Dylan's grandparents, Beth, Jeffrey, and Susan, who is joining virtually. Ya'amdu bracha ben Chaim Yitzchak, Benjamin ben Yosef, Sheva rucha la'aliyah. Amen.
Vayigdal Hayeled, V'tivihu v'paro, V'hila Levin v'tikra Shemo, Moshe v'atomer, Ki mihamayim Moshe tihu. Vayehi bayamim hahem, Vayigdal Moshe vayaseh elahav, Vayar v'sivotam, Vayar ish mitzrim makeh, Ivrim me'ehav. Vayifei ko v'cho v'yar ki ein ish v'yach et hamitri v'nitanehu b'acho.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'toheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Vayetsei
For our second aliyah, hold on one second, Dylan. You're doing great. For our second aliyah, we invite up his parents, Jessica and Ross. Ya'amdu Yocheved bat Bracha v'Benyamin, Yermiyahu Yitzchak ben Sheva rucha v'label aliyah.
Baruch Adonai HaMorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayetsei bayom hasheni v'hinei shenei anashim Ivrim nitzim vayomer lavasha lama takeh re'echa. Vayomer mi sameha la'ish sa'ar v'shafet alenu hargini eta omer kasher haragta et hamitri vayivra Moshe vayomar achein noda hadavar vayishma paro et hadavar hazeh vayabikesh laharog et Moshe vayira Moshe mipnei Pharaoh vayishev be'eres mijan vayishev al ha'be'er.
After blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. And before Dylan chants his third aliyah, this is the moment you've all been waiting for as he is called up to the Torah officially as a bar mitzvah. Ya'amod
Chaim Yisrael ben Yirmiyahu ve'Yocheved habar mitzvah la'aliyah leTorah. Baruch Adonai Havarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Havarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher habachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Uchuhin mijan sheva banot vatavona vatilena vatimilena et haratim lashkot son avihen. Vayavrafru harohim vayagarshim vayakom Moshe vayoshian vayashk et sonam. Vatavona el rehuel avihen vayomer miduach miharten bo chayom.
And the after blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'hayolam natan b'dohenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher Koach. Chanted so beautifully. In the midst of the sacred scroll, which gives us words of strength and healing, we think of those in our lives at this time who are also in need of that strength and healing with our Misha Berach prayer. If any of you are thinking of someone at this time who is in need of Misha Berach, I ask you to say their names at this moment. For those we pray for out loud and those we pray for silently in our hearts, we ask God for a refuah shlema, the wholeness that comes with the healing of body, mind, and soul. And we join together on page 253 for Misha Berach. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. At this time, Dylan will continue chanting for us the words of our prophets, the Haftarah, as he begins with the blessings. Take your book out right down underneath. Perfect. Get that ready.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar b'vim tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habohel b'Torah u'Moshe abdo u'Yisrael amo u'b'nbiei ha'emet v'tzedek. Habaim Yashresh Yaakov Yatsi Tufara Israel Umalau Fene Tevel Tenuva Hakim Akat Makayu Hika Ikbo Hadarot, Ha'el Hana Eman, Ha'omer Ve'osei, Hamdaberim Kayim, Shekol Devarav, Emet Vatzedek, All Torah, All Havodah, All Hambi'im, All Yom HaShabbat Hazeh, Shenata Talanu, Adonai Eloheinu, L'Dushav L'Imnuchach, L'Chovod U'Tifaret, All Hokol, Adonai Eloheinu, Anohnu Modim La, Umbarchim Ota, Yiparashim Ha, Bafi Kohai, Tamid Liolam Vaye, Baruata Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat.
Amen.
Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov,
Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov. Yehelanu, 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 Udelo Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Udelo Yisrael.
simen
Tov,
tov,
mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov. Yehelanu.
mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Did it.
Let's give him a big mazel tov. At this time, we'll continue with spiritually putting our Torah away. Dylan has already nicely covered it for us as we rise for Eitz Chaim. It is a tree of life to all who hold fast to it. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. Eitz Chaim echil machzikim ba v'tom me'ushar derachecha darchenom v'chol netivoteha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu, Chadesh Yameinu kekedem. You may be seated, and at this time, I invite up Jessica and Ross to offer some words to Dylan.
On December 28th, 2007, I got the greatest gift of my life, motherhood. Since that day, my life has been filled with joy, adventure, nonstop activity, and endless love. Dylan, you are kind, passionate, and you have more energy than anyone I've ever met. Your love for life is contagious. One thing that makes you stand out amongst others is your willingness to try new things. Moving to Florida in 7th grade and starting a new school is not easy. But you did it without complaining, not letting your nerves get the best of you, and a smile on your face. You bring this to everything you do in your life, especially today on your Bar Mitzvah day, in sports and in school. The people who know you best describe you as sweet and funny, someone who loves learning about everything, and someone that they truly enjoy being around, and I couldn't agree more. When you were a baby, all the other moms used to tell me how lucky I was to have such an easy baby. I could take naps while you played next to me in bed. You were an amazing sleeper and slept to 10 a.m. or longer. I would have to wake you up for baby classes, even though I was told to never wake a sleeping baby. I would take you on long walks in the stroller in and out of stores. You would look around, taking in everything without the least bit of fussiness. I enjoyed doing everything with you. You are now 13, and I feel the same way. I love our special time when it's just the two of us in the car in the morning, listening to classic rock and discussing everything from friends to politics. I love that you know everything about pro and college sports. Whatever the sport may be, you're right there and you know every player's name and every move made. I love that you know how to be competitive and yet sensitive. I love your sincere and honest compassion for people, and most of all, I love your hugs. Dylan, becoming a bar mitzvah is a rite of passage in the Jewish religion. This tradition has happened for many years. Today, as you led the service and delivered your Devar Torah, it is clear to me that you have found meaning for yourself. You have found your own Jewish identity, and to me, that's what becoming a bar mitzvah is really about. You bring so much happiness to everyone. I cannot imagine loving you more, and you make me proud each and every day.
I should have coordinated as we have some of the same material here. Thank you all so much for sharing your Saturday morning with us. If you got an invitation to this event, you were someone important to our family, and we're grateful to have you in our lives. Dylan, Mom and I are so proud of you today. It's truly amazing what a great job you did reading from the Torah and with your speech. I'd be lying to you if I told you I wasn't a little concerned about your performance. Mom must have told you 50 times over the last few months that you need to put down your phone, stop playing video games, stop obsessing over fantasy football, and just do your darn Hebrew homework. But credit to you, you were never nervous, and somehow, someway, you not only got it done, but you killed it, so congrats. Today, Dylan, you've reached a significant milestone in the Jewish religion and have become a bar mitzvah, a young man. I guess now that makes me the old man in the house, which is kind of scary. I still feel like it was yesterday when I was reading from the Torah in front of my parents and loved ones. I've spent some time over the last few days reflecting on how a father can articulate feelings for their only son on their bar mitzvah day with just a few minutes for a short speech. I'm reminded that in a world that seems to move so fast, we often don't take time to slow down and appreciate the little things day to day. I am guilty of that, and equally guilty of not stopping often enough, Dylan, and sharing with you how you've changed my life and granted me the greatest gift a man can have, an amazing son. I'm not going to get choked up here. So where do we start, Dylan? I guess it all goes back to the day I found out I was having a boy. I truly felt like I won the lottery. Dylan, you have exceeded all of my expectations. From the day you were born, you were the easiest child. I remember Mom being concerned something was actually wrong with you. How could you sleep so well? How could you eat so well? You'd actually often sleep straight through the night until 9 or 10 a.m. You weren't fussy like so many other infants in their strollers or in car seats or on planes or in any setting. You would just sit still, take it all in. As a toddler, you started making friends and picking up hobbies, and Dylan, you have never looked back. You were the most energetic young adult I know. Our friends always comment on how you go, go, go. You do more activities in a day than a lot of your peers do in a week. You have so much intellectual curiosity. You love your adventures. You love traveling with your family and friends. You're fanatical about playing soccer, playing tennis, fishing, and even recently golf. There's truly no sport you won't play and no activity you won't try. And you somehow are always smiling, giving it your all, and excelling at all of them. You are such a great friend and so thoughtful and compassionate. You never leave anyone out. You always want your friends to have fun and make sure they're comfortable in our home or wherever you're spending time with them. When I told you we were moving to Florida, you never once complained, never reflected on the downside or the difficulty. Instead, you focused on the excitement of a new experience. This is such a gift, Dylan. You're truly inspiring with your positivity. We don't have time to keep going, but please know that Mommy and I could not be any prouder of the boy you were and the young adult you became today. At moments like this, it seems inevitable to not reflect on the loved ones who can't be here. No one would have loved to be here more than my father and your Grandpa Lenny. My father was my best friend, and I strive to be the same with you. I know he's looking down at you today with a big smile and yearning for an in-depth conversation with you about the Wisconsin Badgers. As I wrap this up, I will share my last bit of fatherly advice with you on your bar mitzvah day. Dylan, you are a special young adult. Life is a gift. Stop and try to take it in along the way. Keep smiling, and please follow that beautiful heart of yours and never ever feel the need to change for anyone else ever. We are all lucky to have you, Dylan. We love you so much, and Mommy and I are so proud of you.
Thank you. Dylan, we have a couple of gifts for you. They're right underneath the podium. Go ahead and take both of them out, and the next one right there. Perfect. The first one there that's wrapped is, should I tell you what it is? It's a Kiddush cup for you to continue celebrating for many Shabbat to come in your home, and that is from our sisterhood. And we have, go ahead and hold that book up for everyone to see, the Plout Torah book right there. Can I get an ooh and an ah? And you can go into that book and find your Torah portion. You can chant it as many times as you'd like. I also hope you'll check out all the other beautiful words of our Torah that are in there as well. And that is for you to keep. And we have a couple of certificates that will be mailed to you. The first one is, of course, your Bar Mitzvah certificate signed by all of the clergy. The second one is a certificate from our religious school that is up to $500 to travel to Israel, to this promised land that you chanted about today. And in 10th grade, we take our Israel trip for 3 weeks in Israel, and we really hope that you'll join us and continue on with your studies. And the third certificate is from our busy B'nai Israel Senior Youth Group, and it is for a free event, a senior youth group event of your choice. You can join us for any youth group event, and we look forward to having you get more involved. And we welcome your family to our congregation. We know this is your first year with us, and we're so happy that you're with us. So before we continue, Dylan, I want you to go ahead and take a deep breath. You made it. You have stood before your family and your friends and all of those that are also with us on live stream to lead us in prayer, to chant words of Torah and Haftorah, and to demonstrate and teach us about our Jewish values. I know that just a couple of months ago this day, you may have envisioned to look a little differently with our sanctuary a bit more filled, but no number of people resembles how much you are loved and supported. And it is an honor to be here with you and your family today, and I'm so very proud of you. Mazel tov to your parents for all of your support, and mazel tov on taking this step on becoming a bar mitzvah. At this time, Cantor Sarah and I would like to offer God's blessings upon you and upon your family. I'll invite up Jessica, Ross, Sloan, and Scarlett for our family blessing. May God bless you and keep you always. May God shine upon you and be gracious to you. Dylan, may God smile upon all that you do and grant you and your family the greatest gift of all, the gift of shalom, which is wholeness, happiness, friendship, and peace. And together we say, Amen. Amen. Go ahead and seal it with a family hug.
Dylan, I'm so lucky. Me and
will
You're a
continue.
great big brother.
Oh, great big brother. We'll ask you all to rise now for our Aleinu as we turn to page 282.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam halkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We remain standing for our mourner's Kaddish on page 294. And at this time, we think about those who are no longer physically with us, but who are indeed with us in spirit. The Berman family especially thinks of Len Berman, Rose Berman, Irving Berman, Ethel Sloan, Sidney Sloan, Doris Galanti, Harold Galanti, Ruth Rothenberg, Joseph Rothenberg, Myron Galanti, Kathy Galanti, and Sidney Galanti. If any of you are in a period of mourning, I ask you to also offer their name at this time of who you're thinking of. We join with our mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, be'amad yivrach v'yirtei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'mechon v'chayedecho be'Yisrael, ba'gala v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'me'omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitshomam v'yitnaseh, v'yitchadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemedi kudisha b'reichu, le'ulam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'akol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imrumav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'akol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, amen. You may be seated. We want to thank all of you for joining us this morning, and those of you on live stream as well. We can feel your presence here. We want to remind you that we have Shabbat services every Friday night on our live stream at 7 p.m. and on 6:15 on the first Friday of every month. Feel free to join us. And I also want to thank our security team, our maintenance team run by Todd Shore, and Tomer Avivi, one of CBI's tutors, for being here as well this morning. Thank you so much to Cantor Sarah for uplifting us in prayer this morning as we celebrate. And we're going to continue celebrating with Vishamru, which can be found on page 44, as I invite up the Berman family, Jessica, Ross, Sloan, and Scarlett. Come on and join us by our Kiddush table here with Dylan. Page 44.
Oti our Kiddush cups high as you lead us in Kiddush. Amen l'chaim. And Sloan and Scarlett are going to do the honor of uncovering our challah. Voila! Challah! Nicely done. Go ahead and raise it high for our hamotzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'te'avon, you can go and take a bite as well. We are going to conclude with Adon Olam on page 321.
Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'terem kol,
B'terem kol,
Yitzir Nivra,
Yitzir Nivra, Ha'et Nasa,
V'hefzo kol,
Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam.
Ve'acharek Tiklot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nora Adon
Sing it.
Olam, Ve'hu Haya, Ve'hu Ahoveh, Ve'hu Yiyeh V'tifara,
Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'terem kol,
B'terem kol, Yitzir Nivra,
Leit Nasa,
Ha'et Nasa,
V'hefzo kol,
Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam.
Ve'hu Echad Ve'im Sheni, Lehamshilo Le'achbira
Adon Olam,
V'li Reishis, V'li Tachlit, Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'ha'mizra
Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'terem kol,
B'terem kol,
Yitzir Nivra, Leit Nasa,
Leit Nasa,
V'hefzo kol,
Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam.
Ve'hu Eli, Ve'hai Goli, V'tzorchem Ibeit Sarah
Adon Olam,
Ve'hu Nisi,
Uman Nosli.
Menat Chasi Be'yom Ekra Adon
Join us.
Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'terem